Proscribed Shiite group attacks police officers in Wuse, Abuja, kills 2.
Syndicate facilitating oil theft in Niger Delta meets Waterloo.
After 5 years of FIFA ban, Samson Siasia returns to football.
On Good Morning Nigeria today, our focus is on tackling the scourge of fake certificates.
A disturbing trend has crept into Nigeria from the global education system. This is the proliferation of fake certificates from unaccredited universities in Benin Republic and Togo.
Well, and so recently, the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, raised the alarm that 22,500 Nigerians are currently making use of these fake certificates obtained between 2019 and 2023 from Benin Republic and Togo.
You're right, Victor. Majority of these persons, about 21,600, obtained theirs from Benin Republic, while 1,105 got theirs from unaccredited universities in Togo.
Some of these fake certificates were harvested from the records of the Compulsory National Youth Service Corps, as revealed by the Minister of Education.
Another disturbing issue raised by Professor Tai Maman is that some of these students deliberately did not participate in the NYSC program, obviously to conceal their crime, and their data cannot be found.
And the grim reality is that these persons may be working within the Nigerian system.
Yes, Victor, you're right. And we hear that universities that offered these degrees are not accredited in the two countries.
Well, the students also participated online from what the Minister of Education revealed. But a circular is being prepared by the head of service of the Federation, head of the civil service of the Federation, that is, to fish out these persons for prosecution.
Yeah, for prosecution, yes. And private organizations are advised to also investigate their staff with certificates from Benin Republic and Togo between 2019 and 2023.
Well, we now know that only 5 universities in Benin Republic and 3 in Togo are accredited to offer degree certificates. So all reports from investigations should be channeled to the Ministry of Education for clarification. Is a craze for a foreign degree worth sacrificing one's freedom? What motivates these decisions? This is our focus on Good Morning Nigeria today. Welcome to the program. I am Victor Azu.
And I am Ademola Adio. This is our first episode this week. Thanks for joining us. We're reaching you live on the network service of the NTA. Newspaper review will come up shortly with Chukudi Okoli Ugbaja. But first, let's join Olajide Bello for the news. Hello, Olajide.
Good morning, Ademola. Good morning, Victor. Good morning, Nigeria. Here is the morning news. The FCT Police Command has confirmed an attack by the proscribed Islamic movement of Nigeria, popularly known as the Shiite group, on some personnel of the Nigeria Police Force attached to FCT Command at Wuse Junction by the traffic light, where 2 police personnel were killed, leaving 3 unconscious in the hospital, after which the police patrol vehicles were set ablaze. A statement signed by the police public relations officer, Superintendent Josephine Ade, adds that the proscribed organization attacked the police checkpoints unprovoked, while the machetes, improvised explosive devices, locally made bombs in bottles with kerosene and knives. Several arrests have been effected and the situation is said to be presently under control and normalcy restored. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force says it has rescued 20 medical students and other kidnapped victims who have been in captivity for some time now. Francis Form reports that IGP Kayode Egbetokun handed over the students to the vice chancellors of the universities of Jos and Maiduguri at the Louis Edet House in Abuja. Representatives of Benue State Governor, Vice Chancellors of Universities of Jos and Maiduguri, and representatives of the kidnapped parents applauded President Bola Tinubu's intervention and swift response of the force and Office of the National Security Advisor. The Commander Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe says no stone will be left unturned until criminals involved in oil and theft is reduced or to the barest, if not stopped, in the Niger Delta region of the country. The Commander Joint Task Force South Operation Delta Safe Rear Admiral John Okeke service at the Task Force headquarters in Bogene, Bayelsa State, while parading two suspects who has been facilitating illegal oil theft in the region. One-time Super Eagles coach Samson Siasia is back to football-related activities after 5 years FIFA ban. He was seen in a novelty match in Abuja commemorating his birthday anniversary. And that's the news at this time. Good morning, Nigeria continues with Victor and Ademola after this commercial break.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, with undying demand. We make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Diversity is unique, we have more than just a nation.
We are Nigeria, standing in unity. We know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
I am pregnant. It is important for me to take care of myself and stay healthy.
To be strong and have a healthy pregnancy, take iron and folic acid tablets every day when you're pregnant. This prevents anemia and helps maintain a healthy pregnancy. Visit your healthcare provider for regular antenatal care. This message is from the ANRIN Project, Federal Ministry of Health.
You have to meet my best friend. She's the sweetest. Hey, check out my hair.
Which one? The one on your head or the one in the sink? Relax. Next time, just use the Mega Growth Anti-Damage Relaxer. It's infused with wonder oils and conditioning proteins so you can retouch without breakage. Now your hair looks great.
Thank you.
Retouch without breakage with Mega Growth Anti-Damage No-Lie Cream Relaxer.
In a world hungry for goodness, with a splash of golden Terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Make a lunch hour a happy hour. Change no thanks into yes please. Provide care when our nearest and dearest needs it most. And resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing. providing tasty, nourishing family meals is all that matters. The world needs moms, because where there are moms, there is hope, happiness, and love. Golden Terra Oil, or pure love.
Imagine a world where your potential isn't limited by your bank account, where your financial dreams can become reality. That world is here with the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation scheme, Credico. Credico is one of President Tinubu's initiatives designed to put the power of consumer credit in the hands of working Nigerians. Here to help you achieve your goals, whether it's providing for your family or expanding your home or business. Visit www.credico.ng today for details. This is the renewed hope.
A new edition of TV Guide is out.
This time, we got up close and personal with a transformational legislator, the Deputy President of the Senate, distinguished Senator Barrow Jibrin.
It created a difference in terms of representation through interventions that have brought an unprecedented infrastructural development to my area.
This edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from technology, entertainment, economy, media, politics, family, and lots more.
It is indeed a park of excitement as we take you through every aspect of life. Pick up your copy and get abreast with issues and trending features within our space.
TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
When you hear about the domestic FGN US dollar bond, do you think of a win-win investment or an opportunity to be a part of the nation's development? I see them all. The domestic FGN US dollar bond is low risk, higher returns, and secure. Invest with a minimum of $10,000. Download the form from www.dmo.gov.ng. Complete and submit with your evidence of payment to any of the issuing houses, financial advisors, or receiving banks. The offer is open to Nigerian residents, Nigerians with savings abroad, Nigerian diaspora, and institutional investors. For more information, consult your bankers or financial advisors on how to invest in the domestic FGN US dollar bond. Be part of something greater. The domestic FGN US dollar bond. Let's prosper together.
All right, thanks for staying with us on Good Morning Nigeria so far. It's time for newspaper review, and we'll get it to you just after this break.
Our newspaper reviewer is here, Chooks, the boy. You are welcome to Good Morning Nigeria this morning. So what you have for us is wet money.
Oh, it's a wet morning. And that started, from 5 days back. I think the rains are having back on what they missed, because it was not August break we saw this year. It was more of a July break into August,
So catching up on lost time.
Exactly.
Actually,
you can't cheat nature.
They have warned us, actually. I mean, they told us that when the rain comes now, it won't stop until November.
And that's a very good one, because usually the rain stops in Abuja around October 26th, between 20th and 26th. I've always, written this down. If it's going to get up until November, that means that beans farmers have a hope, because they didn't plant early this year, meaning that those crops they were to harvest after 3 months would push beans farther in terms of planting it, meaning that will push beans too much into the dry season. But if it's going to get up to November, God is giving his back to us.
Okay. Anyway, let's rain down the beans. No, rain down the stories.
The newspapers.
I will begin with the Vanguard, which leads with this major story. Executive order on medicaments. FG yet to implement 2 months after. And it has several riders. FG still working on implementation framework 2 months after. Minister. Delay not worth it. People are dying. Oladigbolu. Government must progressively intervene in high tariffs. Akintayo. Implementation details must be properly worked out. That's according to Ifeanyi. That story is on page 5 of the Vanguard papers. And above the masthead, FG moves to eliminate malaria, picks Dangote, Otedola, Elumelu to drive efforts. That story is on page 9. And on 8, Catholic bishops canvass regional government, ask Tinubu to fight hunger, graft. On page 20 comes the story, Nigerians hope for lower cement price dims. Nigerians hope for lower cement price dims, page 20. And above those stories, you have court freezes 32 accounts linked to end bad governance protests. That's on page 32. And just before I drop the Vanguard, let's go to Mr. and Mrs. who is knocking at the door like that. I hate people dropping by without notice. I'm going to give that person a piece of my mind. That's according to Mrs. And Mr. replies, check if it's the landlord. We can't afford to be on his bad side. Rent increase is not the best at a time like this. Okay?
Yeah.
Bola?
All right. I have the Nation newspaper with me, and just above the nameplate, Dangote or Tedola Elumelu back federal government's moves to eliminate malaria. The details of the story can be found on page 4. And we have 2 policemen killed during clash with Islamic group in FCT. 3 policemen critically injured, 3 patrol vans touched, 52 El Zazaki's men arrested. Details of that story can be found also on page 4. Court freezes 32 accounts of individuals, firms linked to August protest. Details on page 5. Okonjo-Iweala canvasses economic policy consistencies. Details on page 5. VP government committed to rule of law. $115 million on a port terminal ready for inauguration. Details of that story can be found on page 5. Set to deploy technology in eradicating unclaimed dividends. Details of the story can be found on page 6. Chooks?
You want to quickly react by saying no, not again. When you read news that the Islamic group, traceable to El Zazzaki, that name is always a problem
El
for
Zazzaki.
me. That
The Shiite.
fatal clashes, not just clashes. Somebody died. 2 people reportedly died.
But 2 policemen.
Say no, not again. What is causing a flare-up again? Remember the story of the Islamic group? How El Zazzaki, the wife, and all, went into detention and all that. I think we have to engage processes that do not ignite preventable conflict. Because some of these things happening are preventable. What is the bone of contention? Religion should not be a problem for another person. You can only take yourself to heaven. You can't take mom along. You can't take dad along. So the way Nigerians push religion sometimes alarms me. It doesn't matter what faith you're talking about. You can only save yourself. So please, spare us the embarrassment, if not the agony of losing people. I just pray that it doesn't escalate. That's the prayer. I just pray so.
The police said they were armed with various weapons, and they attacked the police checkpoints and all that. If they had a peaceful procession, probably this would have been avoided. And besides the fact that they have been proscribed, so I don't know.
Demola, I didn't actually want to drop that one, So people don't begin to think you're too much, you're against us or whatever. They're proscribed.
Yeah.
That means that the procession is illegal, particularly if they glibly, clearly identify themselves as members of the Islamic group. We have to be careful, Demola. We just have to. There's the debate on malaria, fighting malaria.
Yeah.
I was happy when it was announced some 5 months ago that a vaccine, was being tested, an anti-malaria vaccine. I don't think that rollout has happened in Nigeria. I don't think so.
Not yet.
Not yet. But picking the perhaps the 3 most visible Nigerians in terms of financial muscle suggests to me that they were picked to do the job, because this is something that actually requires you to throw in, some money into. Maybe they want to use that as a part of their social responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whatever the intention is, we have to applaud it, the move, because malaria is a... How many deaths annually? 600?
No.
600,000?
We have lost, we're uncountable.
Thereabout. Then Nigeria has a...
We've lost uncountable.
Yes. Malaria still remains a killer.
Yeah,
actually, when HIV was being talked about and all that, malaria still remained the biggest killer, not HIV.
Yeah,
That's
in Africa.
To tell you.
Africa.
Exactly. But the alarming aspect of it now is that parts of Europe are becoming warm enough for mosquitoes to thrive in them. So that is actually, that I think is actually why the vaccine was eventually taken seriously. Because Black Africa had been suffering from this scourge of malaria for a long time without anything being done about it. But a stink is now sending a few white skins to the bed,
And then the story on medicaments, FG had to implement 2 months after it was supposed to be an executive order to provide some form of waivers.
Which happened in June. Cost of essential drugs would have dropped. ECG equipment, for instance, laboratory equipment, imaging equipment, would have dropped by that executive order if it got implemented. So the question is, what is delaying it? Is it that it's no longer important? The president did this with good intentions. Is it bureaucracy again? What is it? Let me say this. The riots in Britain, they were even more violent than what happened in Nigeria. Nobody was killed. We have to chip in that. The point I want to make is that people who were thematically, people who were in the thick of that, many of them have been sent to jail already. How many of our own people have we prosecuted? These delays are not things you want to have in the system. Because
well, I think the court is trying some of them. Like, for instance, in the paper...
I've not heard about anyone jailed yet. That's what the point I made.
Okay. Because here it says court freezes 32 accounts of individual firms linked to August protests.
Yes,
all that,
I got that, Well,
I think they are being prosecuted.
Freezing their account,
the process
it depends on what the DSS found out about those accounts and all that. Otherwise, money has to come to get certain things done. The legality of it is what I think the government is going to concentrate on and say, hey, you are fanning the embers of fatal discord and pretending to be not to be the one behind it. I think we need to make sure that due diligence is exercised in making sure that somebody did not take us for granted. As much as we say people have a right to protest. You understand? So
and Nigerians hope for lower cement price dims. I'm not sure why that is.
Victor,
because at some point we were promised that it was going to drop to a certain amount by the major manufacturers.
Have you built a house?
Well,
I did not come here for a personal attack, but I know anytime I hear about cement, I wince because I know where I am in terms of building a house. You see, I talk about if we are serious about stopping deforestation, kerosene price should be one of the things subsidized. We are inviting the desert more and more toward the river Niger. I'll keep on saying it. Same way, if you want Victor to shelter himself in good time, in his prime, one of the things you're going to have to do for him is to make sure the price of cement drops. The 8,000 or so, 8.5 or 7.5, is still not it. It scares me. I don't know about you, Demola. Ilemi is not yet in place for me completely. I don't know about you. Well, your people are very wonderful human beings. They rush to build houses. Where I come from, you delayed so much.
Who are my people? Are you not my people?
I said Ilemi.
Ilemi.
I said Ilemi is very important.
Yes.
And I'm applauding the attitude
Yeah.
in the West, in the Western region, where people actually set out early.
Yeah.
It is a habit that needs to be imbibed by other people. I didn't say to deride anyone.
There's no habit. You see, like someone would always say, you don't
you say
get
it's a
angry.
culture.
You don't get angry and build a house.
No.
You have the resources.
You have to plan.
You have the resources and you build it.
You
don't
plan
get
it.
angry.
No,
if
it's
it's
a
not
matter
there,
of what you prioritize.
if it's not there, it's not there.
Yes.
It's a matter of what you prioritize.
Your priority and
Yes.
probably the culture.
The culture again, yes. Probably the culture.
Yeah.
One of the things, some communities have the things that define their men of valor. At a point, it was the number of wives you had. I think everyone is running away from from having so
it
many
will still boil
wives
down
now.
to your earning power, your other responsibilities. I mean, you can't be building a house and your kids are not in school. Just, to put it
That's
The
why we say
secret
priority.
The secret is start early. Victor, some of the money I wasted between the ages of 30 and 45 could have set me up a modest bungalow. I didn't come here to tell the world that I'm an irresponsible human being. But because I'm a journalist, I have to say the way it is. So sometimes some of the monies the other time I said, one of the things we need to teach our children now is money sense very early so they can succeed in life better, quicker than us. You know, that's it. Materially, that is.
But you see, the children of nowadays are even more, would I say, more, they are more investment, conscious than us.
Okay.
Yes.
So there is an improvement.
There is an improvement.
I want to see that among my children. Yeah, very important. Yes.
Yes. Because I see them investing in a lot of things, getting their hands, they have so many opportunities these days with this technology and all that. So they make money so easily. So technology has made it easy for them to make, quick money and for them to be able to use it, intelligently. It's just that, they just need role models. The kind of role models that we have out there these days are not too... not something to write home about, that kind of a thing. So if you have people that can actually educate them and teach them about money management, we have a lot of teachings, a lot of classes, online classes and all that going on now these days.
They don't have to wait as long as some of us did before.
So they have opportunities online,
yeah.
Money management, how to manage your life, manage your wealth, manage everything. So they have opportunities
actually, now. I read one of the former ministers saying that these days you have to read particular courses to, prosper in life. As much as I agree that certain courses, it started with medicine, are very important, there is no subject in the world that is not important. There isn't a subject.
Well, we have to just
let you
go. We have a major topic for today. So, Chooks, this morning I almost made a mistake. Did you notice? I wanted to introduce, I said, Shukudi. I got used to calling you Shukudi.
It's old age. You're wasting our time. It's old age.
I got used to calling you Shukudi. But it's Chooks. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
So we'll take a break now. Good Morning Nigeria continues. Stay with us.
Did you know that President Bola Tinubu has approved the suspension of import duties and tariffs on rice, maize and other essential food items for the next 5 months? The President has also approved the suspension of import duties on pharmaceutical raw materials and equipment. This will help bring down the prices of food and drugs across the country. All hands are on deck to ensure that things get better for all Nigerians. This is the renewed hope The new Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. No need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish and energize your kids. Milo!
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof and shrimp flavors at attractive prices of 50, 100, 200 and 500 naira.
TerraCube. Unwrap joy. Unleash taste.
NTA Television College, Jos, with a pedigree of producing indelible professionals in the media space and an affiliate of the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, for the award of Degree in Mass Communication, calls on prospective candidates to leverage on the following courses it offers for 2024-2025 academic session. BSc Mass Communication, those with minimum admissible score of 180 and above who sat for the 2024 JAMB/UTME and direct entry, while 100 to 179 minimum admissible score can apply for the National Innovation Diploma NID in Film and Television Production, Broadcast Journalism and Television Engineering. For more inquiries, visit our website or call 0803 383 4343. Announcer, Registrar.
Can you smell the 5 million naira?
Yeah. We can
you smell the 5 million naira? Name something that might be a deal breaker for you in a romantic relationship.
Trust.
Heating.
I would say small D.
Mommy, are you shy?
It can't see. We are coping.
Oluwa Sheun.
No pressure.
Pressure to what?
No pressure.
2 strikes.
No pressure.
Name a way most people get over their ex.
Crying.
Something says.
This season, enjoy all the better moments with GoTV. Your football party GoTV, they give you better deal of decoder plus GoTenna for only 19,900 naira. Make you enjoy correct football action live on Top Super Sport. GoTV, love it.
Nigeria means a lot to me.
And Nigeria means peaceful cohesion.
My country.
We continue to pray, and then hopefully we will come to understand that unity of purpose, unity of living together.
Our ethnic beliefs and background and culture is our strength.
Ever since the amalgamation period of 1914 to date, about 109 years ago, the people of Nigeria live very peacefully with one another.
I think diversity helps a lot to enhance robust development in Nigeria.
All over the country, you have so many ethnic groups, over 250. That is enough to tell you that this is a blessed country, and God has kept together as one indivisible entity.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. To begin our conversation this morning on tackling the scourge of fake certificate, here is background report by Oyeyemi Ajayi.
It is sadly now the vogue for many Nigerians to seek education outside the shores of the country. Over time, it is believed that getting certificates outside the country gives one better chances of quick employment, ahead of those who study within. As of 2023, UNESCO revealed that Nigeria has 71,753 students studying abroad, ranking Nigeria 10th on the international student leading place of origin. Many tend to be unperturbed with wherever they seek their certificates from, as long as it is outside the shores of the country. However, the disturbing news about the existence of fake certificates from Togo and Benin Republic has sent shivers down the spine of all. According to the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, he said over 20,000 Nigerians are parading fake certificates from unaccredited universities in Togo and Benin Republic, obtained between 2019 and 2023. Some of the numbers were discovered from the National Youth Service Corps and other sources, with the suspicion that the figure is higher than what have been discovered already. He said the federal government has set up a committee to investigate the issue. It was revealed that even within the country, Benin and Togo, these universities are not accredited to offer degree programs, as investigations also indicated that many of the people never even attended the school physically. As it is, a circular is being prepared by the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation that would enable the fish out of these people already employed with these certificates for due prosecution. Likewise, the private sector operators are also encouraged to carry out further investigations on their staff who are parading foreign certificates to ensure that anyone flaunting a certificate obtained from these countries between 2019 and 2023 fished out and handed over to the Federal Ministry of Education for prosecution. Now, how many more of such do we have already in circulation? A major question guests will be answering shortly.
All right, many thanks, Oyeyemi Ajayi, for that background report. And to begin this conversation, let me introduce here in the studio Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, Minister of State, Education. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you.
Also joining us this morning for the conversation, we have Dr. Adeniyi John. Is the founder, president, Global Scholarship Trust, and deputy national coordinator, West Africa Civil Society Forum. You're welcome to Good Morning Nigeria, Dr. Adeniyi John. All right, let's just kickstart our conversation with the Honorable Minister for State Education. Honorable Minister, I mean, people are asking that this issue of fake certificates, you know, that government is trying to tackle now. Why wait till now? Why wait till now?
Well, thank you very much for having me this morning. And once more, let me thank the authorities of NTA for always being there for us to come and shed light on certain major issues, policies and decisions of government, most especially as the ministry were rounding up at least a year in office since we came, and with so much development over the time. Well, I think it just become prominent now. This is not all, it didn't start just now. If you look at it, NUC sometimes back has gone around the nation some years back to close down campuses that are fake or they are not recognized. So also the National Commission of Colleges of Education and National Board for Technical Education, and that has also been done. And you also know that even not only that, we have a lot of regulatory bodies in Nigeria that are education related. For example, if you look at the medical profession, you might have heard of Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. They have gone around to close some institutions, too, that were awarding degrees because they are, even if they are governmental, when they have not met up with standard. For instance, when I was a medical student, certain things happened. Our lecturers then were expatriate, and all of a sudden they departed and left Nigeria. So, and then at the level of clinical training, it becomes really below the standard expected. And the MDC and Medical and Dental Council have to come and withdraw the accreditations, and then we have to be moved to another institution. So, fighting to ensure that standard is maintained has not just started now, but it also become obvious now because of the circumstances. We have somebody who thought that, yes, Nigeria, the way we are heading, based on his informations, that would be detrimental to the country in terms of development, in terms of security, and so many issues. And he said, okay, let him go ahead and investigate. And he sacrificed everything and then went in underground obtained a degree in 6 weeks, got mobilized through the due process of checking here and there. And then all of a sudden, after he has concluded, he has been mobilized, he was in the camp. After this, he decided to opt out and then open the can of worms. And for every responsible government, if that happened, the best and the next thing to do is to act as at that time. And that's what we did as ministry. So we have to move ahead, constitute a committee, and then when the report came out, it turned out to be, look, we are really debasing our foundation if something is not done. Maybe as discussion goes, we look at the impact of why are we taking this radical decision. So as a responsible government and a president who is also democratic and who wants to ensure that rules of law are maintained, there is nothing than to allow things to go the way they went, and the council completely adopted the recommendation as forwarded by the committee. And as we discussed, we'll look at some of the implications of such recommendation. So to summarize it up, it's not just starting now, but it has just been intensified now because the magnitude of the case has just been exposed, and we are still continuing with such tracking of particular mining institution within and outside country, and at appropriate time we'll also follow similar distance so that we can clear up this.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Some will argue that given the scale of what it is, when the can of worms, to quote you directly, was opened sometime last year, that between then and now took such a long time to address such an issue that is of national importance.
No, you see, it doesn't take that time. You see, it's better you do diligent work. Then you come and do what, after you have exposed your report, you also come and withdraw your decision because of the rushing. So, and you see, we are doing it in a scientific manner. Yes, Togo, Benin were included, but when we inaugurated the committee, they went globally. They were in UK, they are in Turkey, they are in many different countries. So it's not only Togo and this. Taking sampling to know, really, are we also in those regions getting the same result that we are getting in Togo? So it was a multinational, and it's also interministerial. So you understand, education, interior, foreign affairs, so many security organizations, they were all involved. So it's interministerial. You understand? So we have to do a thorough job. That's why today we can confidently come out to say that the 23,000 fake degrees in the country, based on the recommendation of the council, they should have their everything terminated. And then I must also put a correction here. People thought that, yes, we have suspended. But for those who came in with the result from universities in Togo and Benin Republic, they are recognized by that government, and they are not mining institutions. Their degree remains intact, and they will continue to serve the country. And as of today, if you are coming from those universities, you come to the Federal Ministry of Education, those institutions will have their result authenticated. In the whole Togo, we have only 3 institutions, 3 universities that are recognized by the nation, by the country, to award degree. In Benin, we have 5. But unfortunately, 80% of our candidates in Nigeria will go to those institutions that are mining certificate, not going to the recognized institution. And that's where the danger is. You understand? So, in the whole thing is to say that we just have to do something. Otherwise, take for instance now, if we allow that to continue, I'm a medical doctor, and I know what it means to practice in hospital. Even from all cadre in health are important. The least cadre is the ward servant or the cleaner. He is as good as consultant, because if he didn't clean, a consultant will work, and then the operation side will be infected, and it amounts to 0, and then the consultant will lose confidence. People will lose confidence in the conductor that once he operates, it will be infected, and people will start running away from that hospital, and the hospital will know. So it means even the miling, when you put somebody, you give him the work that he cannot do, you are debasing your foundation. You are compromising the system. You are also trying to suffer or to punish those who work hard with their sweat to obtain certificate in favor of those who just go into this. Look at it. I've had this even before that. People who go into not even the entry requirement into those institutions. All you need to do is to enter a small business center, design your certificate, and then you don't even need to cross. Because the finding shows that you don't even need to cross. They have an agent who is the person connecting institution. He was based in Kano, even though he has been apprehended. Luckily for us, he's been apprehended. So he's do everything for you. Look at even that instance. You know that it's a sort of cartel. Even when he came, the journalist, when he came in, he had some issues. His certificate, because as part of the requirement, you must come forward with your traveling document. And when he came, there was no evidence he has gone out of the country. So he has to go back. In less than 1 week, he came up with the certificate, with the passport that had been backdated and stamped, entry and coming in and out, stamped for over 4 years. And what they normally do, if you go to their website, you cannot catch them. Because if today I'm to apply and they have to give me certificate in the next 2 weeks, they will backdate my admission 4 years back. And all the column of the assessment will be there. Will be there to show that they are this. You understand? And unfortunately for us, when the committee went there even, one of the institutions in Benin Republic is 4-bedroom flat with a single desktop, but issuing certificate. And unfortunately also that is where the highest number of fake degrees are coming out. So if I may ask, could it be right just because my brother or somebody is involved, we should allow it? No. I think Nigeria should go beyond that. Let us understand that. You see, sometimes we tend to underrate what we have, because always you have that tendency. But go to globally now. Who are the most sought individuals in the world in terms of human resource for anything? Take, for instance, human resource for health. The Middle East, the Europe, will always come to Nigeria. And who are they picking? They are also picking doctors who are trained in Nigeria because we have that resiliency. Average Nigerians have that resiliency and tendency to learn. And the one thing with Nigeria, we learn more under uninhabitable circumstances.
Okay. Honorable,
so that makes us very resilient.
Yeah.
So that noble position that we have, that we are highly sought for, we shall not allow milers to come and debase it.
All right, that's true. But you said something. You said 80% of our students go to all these, universities to obtain this fake certificate. That's a huge number. So
that's why you have also 23.
So what do you think is responsible for that? Why would 80% leave Nigeria to go for a fake certificate outside the shores of this country?
Yes, because when you are talking of this service, it's very easy. Parents are eager for their children to have certificate. That quest for certificate. And that's the problem we are trying to address in education now. Quest for certificate versus skills. You see, when you know that your child is going to get a certificate in 6 weeks, you know that definitely he lacks skills. But because you want him to have certificate and you are in an affluent position that you can get him, where you want him to be even without skills, some of them will not even come to the office, because when they come, the defect will be decent. You only see them when there is a committee. They will put them. They will be part of the committee, because some of them are decent. Because it is also done at a higher rate in terms of payment. So average child cannot go across and obtain the money that you are going to spend to get yourself documents ready, to get certificate, get everything, and then get certificate in 4 weeks. It cannot happen. You have to be a little bit affluent in your distance. So because of that availability of money and then the quest for certificate without skill and this thing. But unfortunately, the reverse, when it backfire, is the worst, because you lose their integrity. Now, for all the students that are involved, you understand, today they are not happy people. Today the family are not happy. And then today they are in a serious state of uncertainty. Are they going to start afresh or what? So this is the issue of the whole miling. If you allowed it, Nigeria will also be in a serious problem. What are the issues that will affect us if we pay silent? That competitiveness and zeal to go and work hard to obtain your decision will be down. Economically, it will affect us. because we'll be employing people who cannot pay, who cannot have this positive outcome in terms of the service we are doing. Three, we also have threat to our security, because you put somebody who cannot, his critical thinking is so low that he cannot understand the document you are passing through him. And he can easily share it to the public, and then you are losing your security. And then, in terms of this, your rating world over, people will begin to know that your quality has drastically dropped. And even the people now coming to recruit us and our Nigerians, wherever you listen, even I had Professor Lumumba was saying in one of his lectures that any country you go, you didn't see a Nigerian, please run away. Because be it AI, medicine, law, this, we have had a lot of chief justices of other countries in Africa who are Nigerians. So at that level, you shouldn't allow greed to make us go down. And each responsible parent must, even if you are involved, you must say kudos to Federal Executive Council for taking the right stand, because that stand is to save this country.
But talking about the Federal Executive Council, this investigation, and yours as well, apart from the journalist's investigation, yours would have also exposed the complicity of several agencies of government. So what is government doing at that level?
That's true. Yes, we have really exposed this. And for example, the Department of Education Support Services in the Federal Ministry of Education is this department that has mandate to do that. As a result of our finding, as of today, that there is total overhaul. From the top to the bottom of that department has been overhauled.
Okay.
That's in the ministry. And even some of our staff have been pushed ICPC. You understand? Others who will find that they are not even worthy to remain in the ministry because they still have their own cartel that they are working together were sent out, some even to different states. That's our decision. Then at the level of the, where we cannot take actions, we presented that to the FEC. And then there is a directive from FEC, right from the level of interministerial up to the ECOWAS level, because the ministry has been mandated to organize a meeting through the Federal Foreign Affairs Ministry with all the ECOWAS states, because the magnitude is so much, to see how we can tighten our security in terms of our education so that we cannot be, as a region, be debased in totality. So that's also considered. Then in terms of the NYSC too, there is also that they must look at their system in terms of screening and screening. Don't say that even in terms of the report has really commended the NYSC, because they have so many also check and balances. But they have been also asked to make it tight-proof, water, or even you say air-proof, so that it can be so tighter. And this in terms of putting a lot of check of balances. Then immigration also, the interior has also been looked at, inspect itself. How can a journalist that came with a passport not stamped to show that he has gone in and out of the country will come back after some few days with signed document, backdating it to 4 years? So you understand, this is addition. So that's why the whole recommendation FEC adopted in totality, and they are far-reaching, such as everybody now that is having that certificate should be find his way out of civil service.
Okay. And
then we should also ban it. And for us in the Ministry of Education, no institution of higher learning that you want to go to further your study will use that, admit you for master's or PhD. That is not possible because of this thing. But as I said, people must know, we are not saying completely no certificate from Togo and Benin Republic are accepted. No. Certificate from government-recognized institutions, which are about 8 in both countries, are recognized, and you can work in the country. But those who you have gotten from this, you can, even here in Nigeria, if you
are you working with the Ministry of Education in those countries, those two countries?
Yes, definitely. The committee, the committee went there, and they've confirmed these are the registered. Those institutions were mentioned. Incidentally, not even their people are going there. Yes, even their people are going there.
Majorly Nigerians.
Yes, majorly Nigerians. And also, sorry to say, some of these you find that if you can, you say, 1, 2, 3, you lose your decision, you cannot cop up, you cross. A lot of them will be serving with those whom they have left in university. Maybe after 2, 3 years, you know, you realize you are French, you can go to Togo and come. By the time you come to Togo, you also join each other at the service. So look at it.
Okay, Honorable Minister, thank you very much. Let's bring in Dr. John Adini John now into the conversation. You have listened to the Honorable Minister, and we're talking about this scourge of fake certificate in the country. What's your own? Let's have your view on it.
All right, thank you very much for inviting me. And this current discussion, it's actually called for a sober reflection as a country. And like the Honorable Minister of Education, enumerated, we need to nip the problem in the bud. But however, when I listened to the Honorable Minister of Education pronouncement during the press conference, the first thing that came to my mind is that, why now? What have we been doing as a nation? And if by now the government, through the Ministry of Education, is saying that it's only 5 universities that are recognized, please note that word, not approved, recognized, because it is the responsibility of the host country to accredit and approve their own university. But Nigerian government can't recognize such universities. So 5 universities. Then over the years, we've had our students going to those countries, studying and coming back home to participate in the mandatory NYSC. And the government has also put a structure in place for those certificates coming from there to be verified, i.e. NYSC, Federal Ministry of Education, Department of Evaluation, Education Support Service. What went wrong? If they pronounce National Youth Service Program today, there's a system where foreign students, whether Benin or UK, to upload your document. And you cannot do it if your university is not listed on that platform. Then who is responsible for this mess that we find ourselves in this country? Is it the Benin government or Nigerian government? Or the students, innocent students? Because I don't want to believe that all the students that went there, they want to go there to buy certificates. It is because of stringent procedures of gaining admission in our universities in Nigeria that makes some of our students to go to neighboring countries to go and study. Not all students, Nigerians that go to Benin Republic, Togo, go there essentially to go and buy certificates.
But those of them, if I may chip in here, those of them who go, let's assume they fell prey. They went there, did they go through due process? You know what it takes to get a degree education.
Yes, I'm going there.
So did they do all of those?
I'm going there. Remember, I said...
we didn't say all doctors.
Remember,
I made it clear.
Honorable
yes,
Minister,
I made it clear. We didn't say all.
Yes, I know, I know. My argument is this. 5 universities. 2,000 plus from Benin Republic. 1,000 plus from Togo.
No, 21,000.
21,000 over the
Benin
years,
Republic.
from 2017.
No, 2019.
2019 to now.
No, from 2017.
2017 to now.
Okay.
And
But
the pronunciation is that they are now rendered invalid.
Okay.
Where's the data? Can Nigerians have access to this? Can we begin to look at this? What happened? Like I said, you cannot just say 5 universities. I've been practicing education for the past 30 years. How did you arrive at those figures? Those universities that you are judged, accredited, recognized in your database, NYSC. People go to Ministry of Education to do accreditation. Then you ask them, you pass them that they should go. There is a book, Honorable Ministers, I don't know what you will call it there, that you have to confirm. Even parents will go to Ministry of Education to go and ask, I want to send my children. to Benin Republic, Togo, please, I want to confirm if this school is recognized. And they will say it's recognized. There's a book there. There's a book. So now if we are saying that these students that are fall prey of these problems between Nigerian government and the Benin Republic, because there must supposed to be a collaboration between the two governments, the Ministry of Education in Benin and Ministry of Education in Nigeria. So if that has been existing for long, because I want to believe it has been existing, that is why those university names can pass through Nigerian government system. And that is why those students can be allowed. So it's a systematic failure of the Nigerian government. And we need to own up to it. We need to know those that are responsible, because our youth has been misled. If we have a very stringent and strong system, probably at the point of graduation, even if the student is not unaware that, okay, this university I'm going is fake, as you're about to go for NYSC, you won't find that name of the university in the NYSC portal. And nobody will clear you at Ministry of Education.
And these people were able to also get to serve.
You understand? And student A goes to university and you pass in. Definitely will go and tell his friend, whether he's buying it or he's going to, but he's passing through our system. But that is number one. Yeah. Honorable Minister, please let me just land, so please. You know, so the problem here, I'm concerned because the hammer on other universities, I don't have university in Benin Republic, I don't have in Togo, but my concern is the population that this thing will affect. Innocent, some of them are innocent. So if you say it's only 5, as of yesterday I did some research, and I had access to 2024, 2025 accredited higher institution in Benin Republic from their Ministry of Higher Education. And it's more than 50.
Accredited?
Accredited.
From their own?
From their own, yes.
Okay.
From their own, including those 5 that the Ministry of Education recognized. I didn't do anything about Togo. Now, how are we going to manage this? So if you just pick 5 government-owned universities from Benin and say they are the one that you recognized, what is the framework? What did you use to benchmark the quality? I'm happy. I'm aware of what you're saying because I've been there. That's even some of the building they use is 4-bedroom flats, but whatever. Every country have their own way or how they manage their education. It's not that certificate mining or certificate forgery is not happening in Nigeria. 3 weeks ago, Honorable Minister, sir, through the NYSC, about 55 NYSC, fake NYSC were discovered, including one from Unicar, a bread seller. 2 months ago, JAM said over 3,000 illegal admission. As a country, are we talking about it? This same energy we are putting in this Benin Togo, what are we doing in our own? But I know for sure that JAM has instituted a process now where you cannot even help a student to get admission anymore, because every student will do what? Will be the one to initiate the admission and also complete the admission. So let's now say there are fake universities in Benin Republic. What do we need to do as a country? Thank God the Honorable Minister has mentioned that they have talked to the Ministry of Interior, the DSS, the police, to stop all those things. But there is need for more collaboration. And he ended by saying that among the West African countries, they are trying to set up a database where certificate verification, can be authenticated. So if we don't have that, how are we going to, solve this problem? So I don't really want to believe 100%, with all due respect to the committee and the FEC, that is only 5 universities.
No, you see,
that is recognized. When you say recognition, in your own power, you recognize these people. But those people that went to university that has been accredited, not that they are fake. I just told you, I can forward this document to you.
Okay,
2024, 2025.
You have made your point.
Yes.
Okay, let the minister, Honorable Minister.
Yes, I heard what you said. You see, We are using a document issued to us by the Federal Ministry of Education of those countries that as far as they are concerned, in Togo, they only have 3 degree awarding institutions that are accredited. In Benin, they have 5. And all those institutions do their lessons in French, while they don't have recognized English. This is what we are dissing. They are physically there. You understand? You cannot tell me you have gone and studied in French, you've gotten a degree in that, you wrote examination in that language, and you cannot even know where will I go and eat.
You can't speak it.
You can't speak it. It sounds, it rings a bell.
That's correct.
It rings a bell. You understand? And all those that were there, the alumni were there, we have asked them, go to the committee, make your presentations. Luckily for us, we have multilingual from foreign affairs in there. When you come, they say, okay, what do you study? I study in French. Okay, they'll speak French to you. You say, no, you are not good, you are not conversant in that. You understand? And then a lot of them, when you ask them, how many years did you stay? You understand? So you see, there are physical verification. Yeah. You understand? Majors. You see, and then when you have a cartel, it's something that is jealously protected by their members. And then it only takes a lock for you to flag them up. And most of the time, when you flag up, it's either from conflict or from somebody who is determined to expose it. And here we don't have conflict between the cartel that are working. But we have somebody who's a committed Nigerian and had hope of it, and he went to flag it up, and he has flagged it. No responsible government will say, okay, because it has been happening over 50 years, let's just leave it. No, it won't happen. Take, for instance, in life you have to have empathy. I spent 6 years. You spent 6 months. Mobilize all together. But because you have upper hand, you secure a job. And I couldn't. The younger generation will look at this guy as a role model and they will start crossing. It's crossing. So you see, it's always a proverb that it's better late than never. This is where we have found ourselves. And you have also quite admitted, JAM is doing a lot. So also NCCE and NAPTEP, we are all doing. Since we came, we have tried to see how can we improve on quality. It's not because I'm in it. In the last 1 year, virtually on daily basis, education is being discussed in this country. It has never happened before. Because the president wants to have a qualitative education. And why are we much worried? And I mentioned that component. That is the aspect of skills. You can't just go and get a degree in 6 weeks, even if you have the theoretical basis, and you tell me that you have equivalent skill of that. It's not just possible. It's just not possible. So as a responsible ministry, we just have to do something. You see, it's very painful. It's very painful. You see, it's either you are affected. When you have over 20,000, it's either you are affected or you are involved. So, even myself, I cannot say that I don't have my relations who unknowingly cross out. But it doesn't mean because I'm in position now I should depend them. It's not possible. We have to put this country before any one of us. The interest of this country is better and superior than any other person. You understand? So this is the issue. So it's really sad decision, but it's appropriate decision.
It is the appropriate decisions, and everybody's actually applauding it right now. But are there sanctions, met out for those who have been found, corporate in this, in all these charms?
Definitely, there are sanctions because there are law. You breach when you breach a law, you have to have progressive action. I said we've started from internal. You see, I think the first thing when the issue erupted, Federal Minister of Education was the first to say that It's reality, and we'll investigate it. We have not attempted to cover or in any way to condemn the journalists. Nobody can produce that record. In fact, we have even pressed him several times in our press conference. The minister did, I also did, Pamsek also did, to say that, look, we're happy with you. And as of today, he has never reported to any journalist that has been intimidated in one way or the other by the Federal Minister of Education, never. Because we see him as a partner in sanitizing our system.
That's correct.
So that's our decision. And then I told you we have taken measures within the ministry. I told you from the department will always be head by director. So, and we say everybody must go. You can check, and they have gone.
I'm aware.
You are aware. So you understand. And even one you say, okay, this one have to go to ICPC. He's with ICPC. You understand? So there are consequences. We have started, we have listed our own, and we say, okay. And then the federal, the federal executive council directed. Names were mentioned in the report who should be with ICPC or any of these security organizations, and already they are there. But you see, certain things, if it becomes multinational, it becomes an issue. The foreign partners, even if they are indicted, due process must be followed through the Attorney General because before they can even get repatriated back to Nigeria to answer their decision, if that is to happen. You understand? So it's a multinational. But within our own, we must visit our decision.
Within our own, how many people have been, under prosecution right now?
You see, right now we have not prosecution has not commenced, but they are under interrogation by the security agencies because of, you see, there are issues that is just what you mentioned earlier. That is why it takes too long.
Yeah.
You see, if something has to do with a whole lot of person, you must be very careful. Condemning one is better not do anything than to condemn one innocent soul. You understand? So you must make sure that you have done right thing, that you are not condemning somebody who is innocent. You see, the doctor mentioned the issue of innocent child.
Yeah.
When you know that in your country you have to go for 4 years minimum to get a degree, and then you are going into an institution and you have to go lectures, you have to do this, you have to burn candle, do everything. And you are not going into an institution where probably the longest time you can stay is 1 year or 6 months to get the same equivalent of certificate you are getting in your country. You understand?
Yeah, I think it's
morally, morally,
yes, it's not good.
No, morally, should it ring a bell or not?
Yes.
You should know that really what
my
you are
point
going to
is
do
this:
is not
nobody is, praising those that are doing certificate.
No, I'm just trying to use that. Don't want innocent.
No, I said I intentionally used that word.
Yes.
Innocent, not for those who go for certificate mining. Some people actually went there to study.
And those who want to study and they have studied.
They have studied.
And we say they are recognized.
Yes, that is where I want us to. I want to suggest.
Is it?
That's
why. Look. That's one thing. I keep on saying I'm correcting. We didn't say all certificate.
Yes,
I keep on saying that
is what I'm hammering on.
Yes.
Because if you say 5, only 5, and you are also saying that, not all. Definitely, we have other universities that are recognized as saying yesterday in the list from their ministry,
Yes.
But the question here I'm asking myself here after your explanation, after the due diligence that your ministry has done, is that, okay, from the list I saw yesterday, I found out that, even everything in that document was in French, and we have more than 60 universities there. So the question that I'm going to ask, or that I would like to ask any university that are on that list, is why are you running bilingual degree if you have not been approved to run bilingual? That is English and French. Because like the Honorable Minister said during the press release, he said that those parading English certificates, I think that is where the problem is now. Not that we don't have many universities that are recognized. So what you have done as ministry is to say that, okay, as far as you are concerned, the Republic as a francophone country, you are to issue degrees in what?
in French.
No, that's not the essence. For example, now,
yeah,
the appropriate authority for you to give you the list of accredited institutions through the federal ministry are 3: NUC, MBTE, NCCE, both private and public.
for local universities.
Yes, I'm talking here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
If you had write to the Federal Ministry of Education, we'll forward it, you want the name of accredited universities, we'll forward that to NUC. It's based on that we're going to reply you. Now, we wrote to Federal Ministry of Education of that country and gave us the list of those that they have recognized, which I believe they must have sourced it to do their regulatory agency. And then you have an online list of recognized institutions. Behold, you have something that comes from the act established by the act of that country, of National Assembly of that country. Which one will you consider as most appropriate list to use?
They went from the right source.
This is what we are saying.
Yeah, because yes, it's true.
This is what we are saying.
Because there are a lot of information that you get online that if you do not verify, you find out they are false. So, I mean, on that note, we can say.
And then there was also a physical visit. There was a physical visit. There was a conference at the Federal Ministry of Education.
God should just help us as a nation.
Yeah,
you know, because
there are a
lot of issues.
I think you have been following this.
Yes.
I believe that you are aware that they went to. There was physical visit.
Not even now. Even the directors from ministries before now used to carry out oversight function in those ministries. Most time when they hear, okay, something is on fake certificate, they go there. But they will still come back and adjudge those universities.
But this is what I mentioned. You see, this is what you see. All days are for the tips. It's only a day that is for the honor.
Yeah.
And that's why we say cartel. You understand?
So there are collaborators too in the government.
Would you say that?
Did we say that we're ministry nobody collaborated? Why are we sending some people to? You confirm that you know that some people are in ICPC.
Yes,
so it means that we have also agreed.
Okay.
This government is not government that will just close eyes and say no, things are happening like this. In the education sector, we consider it very vital. It's the bedrock of our development. If we can fix education, we are fixing everywhere.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Would you say that some of these students are just victims, just like he said, or they intentionally went there on their own without consulting with the necessary authority here?
You see, this is what I'm telling you, that I cannot say. You see, for example, you are in 200 level, or one who failed exam is 200 level, and he cannot proceed, and he has asked advice to withdraw, which means you have to, because even with spill over, he cannot finish. And then all of a sudden, he decides to cross and then come back. Go to NYSC even before his own mate that are in class, that he has left them in the university and go. Could you say that that person is an innocent? You can't say it's an innocent. You understand? And then let's also look at it. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know how far is this true, that statement, that ignorance is not an excuse. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah? But people do cite it. How that is correct, I'm not sure. You understand? But ignorance is not an excuse. You understand? And I mentioned that even in the country, I myself, I'm a victim. Accreditation was withdrawn in my institution. I wasted 1 year, 2 years. We have to keep it open ourselves. We got ourselves by force to be transferred to another institution. And today, I'm proud to say that I'm a member of alumni of Sokoto and Maiduguri. You understand? And I have right to say I passed all through. You understand? So had it been that after that time I said, okay, let me cross and go somewhere. I have some of my rudiment of basic knowledge in medicine. So I can just cross, get a certificate, and then come and stay with some fake hospital and this. So you see, mining is not only in education, everywhere. All this, they call Nansambo, this genuine custom, fake custom duty, they are all mining. Any certificate you issue without appropriate authority in order to deceive people or to scam people, it's mining.
Sincerely.
Honorable Minister, I'm aware that at the time, or perhaps before the ministry went into its own investigation,
yes,
the House of Representatives Committee on University Education was also investigating.
Yes.
Did you incorporate their findings into yours? Did you get any briefing from them? And then how are you trying to ensure that this does not end in lip service? Because we hear a lot of these kind of things. Oh, government has taken action and it dies like that. Tomorrow it continues. What are you doing to ensure that this is not the case in this circumstance?
Well, at least now, whether you are within sleeping or awake in Nigeria, the advocacy and sensitization has gone far since it broke out. So parents will now be aware. That's all you understand. And then even the student too, when there's somebody has been in a particular office. And then let me tell you one thing. Nigerians, whether we like it or not, we are good at obeying the law. Sincerely speaking, all we needed is commencing implementation. Let me cite one example, money spray. Since 1 or 2 people were this, now you see people going to, instead of spraying, they are dumping money into a container.
Yes.
In a respectable manner.
Yeah, because there have been sanctions.
That's what I'm saying.
The sanction can.
This is what I'm saying. That's why I said Nigerians forget it. We say that we are all lawful. I say we are good at obeying law.
Yeah.
What we needed is implementations. And then once the circular is out and people were seen to be exited, as exit civil service, people are listening. And I'm telling you, not only Togo and Benin Republic, even those that will go to other countries to bring in effects that we can also reduce. You understand? Then locally here also, before you go for admission, you go for confirm where are you listening. For God's sake, look at it. You employ somebody, just a little later from your office, and it's a minute, he cannot do it. How will the system move? And those are the people that also get rapid promotions. You have a director that if he's a director, he wants to write a memo, he has to stand on instruction, go and do this. Not at the point of giving him an assignment, but at the point of covering his weakness. You understand? So they only do this and he comes. And if little further explanation, it becomes this thing. So and that's what we are also finding now, even at the level of education. That's why we're working hard. Go to the basic level. Numeracy, reading, and critical thinking are not there. You see a child of primary 6 will read something you do not understand. He cannot read it. Some that read it will not understand it. And when you say you analyze it, they cannot analyze it. So it's all the whole system overhaul that we have to go. You understand? But luckily for us, we have also the political will of the Mr. President. And all the support that Federal Minister of Education needed in terms of correcting things, we have the assurance of Mr. President. Otherwise, this memo couldn't have sailed in the Federal Executive Council. We are representing virtually all the state of the Federation. And there is nobody that would say, the kind of call I received, since that case comes till now, I've never received it in my life. And the pressure. You understand? So it's so lot. But you see, it also requires you taking the right decision. The right decision. It's a wake-up call, and we have answered to that call, and we're working.
Okay.
Honorable Mr. Sir, please, just a question, if you may permit me, the moderators. Is there any...
I'm having 3 panels now.
No, that's why I say they permit.
Actually, I wanted to ask you a question, but go ahead. Ask your question before I ask you.
Have you set up any structure or mechanism for those that actually went to accredited school,
yes,
to verify their certificates with you, if actually...
I said right from today,
yes,
if you go to recognized universities, those that are accredited.
No, those that have been affected now.
Yes.
Yes. You said not all of them.
Yes, those universities are this. You can come and we can just come in and get your distance verified.
Virtually or physically?
Not physically. We are moving forward.
Okay, Doctor.
You know, there is a whole lot of our this in terms of our data. There are so many recommendations by the committee on the ministry, of which right now the Department of ICT Department of the Ministry is working on it.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Adini, let's look at the role of parents in all these malpractices. Because I mean, a student cannot just go there on his own. He has to have the backing of probably the guardians or the parents. So do you think the parents are doing the right thing by not going through the normal process and also, teaching their words, the right steps to take?
Thank you so much. Parental failure, let me not say Nigeria alone, globally is becoming alarming because we are no longer monitoring our children. I can tell you for free that most of these students that fell victim, maybe their parents would not even know that they are in Cotonou, most of them. Because I've had issues where a parent will call me, my child wants to go to this university in Nigeria. And I said, okay, what course? I said, I don't know, let me call my son. Okay, call your son. You call your son, he will call me back again. Okay, has he done a change of institution? What's change of institution? And this is supposed to be an educated parent. So, just like you rightly ask, parents have a role, a serious role to play. And most things that have happened now is because our parents, they are ignorance of some of these things. Or they have this carefree attitude. At the end of the day, go to school, get your certificate, come and work. Beyond that. So parents need to do a lot of things to monitor their child's education, be involved in it. Parents are no longer getting involved. Gone are the days when we were in school, your parent will call you, when are you coming back home? It's time to come home. Where are you? And as soon as you get home, you eat your food. They will ask you for your assignment. But today, we've left, our home, even for house help. For house help, you have to go to Cotonou, go to Maiduguri, go to Ogun, to go and bring house help to come and superintend over the affairs of your home. So parents need to do a lot. So, and all this problem we are having today is parental failure is part of it.
So which means that the involvement of parents is not felt
it's
in
not
the
really
development
felt.
of children now.
Exactly, because they are the first teacher. We are the first teacher. We are the first educator. So to the stage where a child will now say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, we have the responsibility to mold a child, to that level and say, okay, what do you want to become? And parents and government must also de-emphasize this issue of certificates. I tell people, everybody must not go to university. Everybody must not go to UK, go to Canada, go to US. You see short certificate program, as little as 1 month, 2 months, like, for example, CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant. For 3 months you are done, you are earning $600. You are earning $1,005. Even in Dubai here, you do CNA, you earn 1,004 dirham. Just for a month. You are not a nurse. I don't even need degree. So I read the policy on, Ministry of Education policy on making sure that our secondary school get back to skill. They introduce skill. But then we do introductory technology in our school. You do so, you carry hammer, you do, but all those things, they have disappeared. Even our technical schools, nothing are there. So a lot has to be done. So we need to study our children. For those of them that need to go to technical school, let them go to technical school. And we must, as a matter of urgency, begin to produce employers of labor, not job
seekers.
That is the problem.
Okay. We'll take a break now, because when we return, I wanted to respond to that. Developing skill, in our students, not actually relying on certificates. Because it has to do with our educational system now. So we'll take a break now. When we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Government of Nigeria warns vandals of national assets, electricity transmission towers, cables and other facilities to desist from this act of sabotage. Vandalism is a serious crime punishable under the law. Vandalizing electrical equipment will affect millions of Nigerians, including your loved ones. Remember that national assets belong to all of us, hence the need to protect them. Report all cases of suspicious movement around electrical facilities to security agencies. When you see something, say something. This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation in collaboration with the National Counter-Terrorism Center, NCTC, Office of the National Security Advisor.
Relief is coming. More wages, reduced costs. Nigeria's national minimum wage is now 70,000 naira and it will be reviewed every 3 years. The federal government will commence immediate implementation and state governments are being encouraged to follow suit. With the presidential CNG initiative, transport costs are coming down. Are you a car owner or a transporter? Visit www.pci.gov.ng to find out how you can benefit from switching to CNG. This is the renewed hope.
Meet lovebirds Jayola and Adama Davies. Their dream of living together as man and wife has finally been fulfilled.
The latest couple in town. Mr. and Mrs. Jaye Davis!
But an invasion by their troublesome families was not a scenario they bargained for. Her mother moves in. His mother shows up with his little niece. Then her younger sister joins the scramble.
You want to stay?
Married life suddenly becomes very complicated even before it started. Follow their story on this channel as they confront every challenge as it comes. Family forever, the story of our lives.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
You have to move from the point where you protect and defend your religion to a point where you also recognize the rights of the other person, of the other religion, and protect it. So if I am protecting my own territory and my own people and trying to emphasize their rights and protect their rights, I should also be thinking about how to protect the rights of the others.
Both Islam and Christianity recognize and defer to God, and both recognize the temporariness of the life of this world, and that ultimately we all go back to God for the day of reckoning, when everybody will render an account of his life on this temporary abode.
All right. We thank you very much for staying with us on Good Morning Nigeria, where we have been discussing measures to take to mitigate certificate forgery, certificate racketeering, and we still have the Minister of State Education in the studio. The Honorable Minister, Debola was asking earlier if there are plans to promote technical education as a way of dousing the craze for certificates.
Well, I think this is a very important question, and if you look at the 8-point of agenda of Mr. President on special focus on health, social welfare, and education, you find that we have a column of tapping on relevant skills, because we have to tap on those relevant skills to ensure our destiny. Then, also at the level of Federal Ministry of Education, that is the area we prioritize more. When we came, locally there was a National Council on Skills. But however, since it was established, it only had 1 or 2 meetings. But when we came in, at least up to now, they have had up to 4 or 5 meetings, and we have developed a lot of this. We have done, we have finished on the National Skill Qualification Framework working, and also we have developed national policy on skills, which was validated some few days ago. And then we also go ahead to see, we have to agree that even if you develop those policies, the curriculum we have right now does not address that. So we have to ask the National Board of Technical Education. We also have already done that. We have reviewed the curricula and syllabi of 15 trades, which is up to date now, and we are looking at this. And then we now also say we are going into infrastructure. We have done with curriculum, we have done with the policy curriculum, and we have also said let us move into infrastructure. And in the last 1 year, we have succeeded in constructing 53 basic vocational schools. And in each school, and right now also we are going back to construct more. And each school we have, apart from classes, you have computer lab, you have workshop, you have also science laboratory. And then in the workshop, the NCC says we have over 140 million or 150 million users of cell phone in Nigeria. So that's a very huge market. And we're also introducing that as this, apart from the craft we have this. So, and then at the level of, we also ensure that the National Board of Technical Education also is rounding up the review of curriculum review for the polytechnics and this. That of university through the CC mark, that has also been done, and a lot of the 30% that will be looked by the university to fill in, they will also be given to look at relevant area for that. For example, if you have agriculture and your area is tomatoes producing area, let's see how those universities can include that so that we can have a robust research in doing that. And then we have also gone to rationalize the TED fund funding to pay more attention now at the technical level to provide more workshops and laboratories so that we can add this in. And then we also came in the DOT process, we have teacher and teacher retraining. So in our teacher and teacher retraining, we are paying more focus on technical and vocational teachers. We also say, okay, all these things will assist us on when we move into AI and technology to see how we can also fill in the gap. And that's why the ministry, through the university-based education, going ahead to produce over 37 smart schools in the country, though 2 we are working on them to ensure that they meet up with other schools. And then we developed we commissioned the Digital Resource Center here in Kado. And then each state is supposed to present 75 teachers who will be trained to go and also serve as trainers of trainers and training. Currently, the major area we are training them is in the Kado. But we have also gone to say, okay, the Kado will not serve all the nation. So we have also come up with regional zonal centers. Like here in Abuja, for North Central, there is one in Nasarawa and there is one in Karshida. We were there even last week, just to see how we can improve the capacity of our teachers. Now, where we have problems right now is on skill. You've seen what happened in the last protest. It's also another wake-up call that something needs to be done.
Yeah.
Imagine the number, look at, just watch that video, the number of youths that gathered in front of Sultan House on the protest day, running into hundreds of thousands. If not for the respect of His Eminence and their loyalty to him, is there any force that can stop those youth? We've seen how they're going to Emir of the area. And these are youth who are roaming about without any project. So we now came up with a view at the level of basic education, most especially in addressing the out-of-school children syndrome. There are those who are at a certain age that you don't expect them to go the normal lesson. So we are planning accelerated learning back with skill component to see how we can quickly train them in one old trade or another, and then give them the ability to be able to read and have their critical thinking. And then in that regard also, we have a project that is funded by the World Bank, IDEA project, which I am sure you know of it. When we came, it was about $100 million project, but only 30 million was used. So we have to call the World Bank. Come, let's look at that. We are not comfortable. President is after ski. So go and use reframe your decision, and they are about presenting it also that the more component of skill. And what we intend to do in this is to see how we can collaborate. Already I told you that we have a national skill policy, which has tried to give each particular skill what the expected learning and outcome. So, and we have gone also to look at areas we are partnering with the private sector to see how we can use them as contractors. We do believe that we cannot, at now, where we are now, we cannot have workshop that will be enough. So we are trying to create a partnership whereby we give you a standard. Once you meet certain standard, we register you, and then we'll now be sending students to you so that you can train them and give them the necessary skill, and then you'll be paid. That payment will also allow you to sustain your destiny in terms of also boosting it. So it also have another economic advantage. And already the TEFON are also into collaboration with in Panteka, Kaduna. You know, Panteka is the whole lot of mechanic this thing. Yeah. So they have gone into that. They are updating their standards so that we can see those from Polytechnic and others can also go there. If you go to Lagos, GSM Village, they are also into that partnership with them. So we are trying to see, in general, how can we improve on skills so that we can reduce the distance. And I even mentioned it earlier here. There are three things which supposed to be a major component in the national policy of education: knowledge, character, and skills. But even in our universities, it's only attention is being paid to knowledge and character. You are found worthy in both learning and this in character, and you are this. The skill was silent. And that's why you now see somebody who has even MSc in computer sciences roaming about looking for a job because he has no skill for software development. He has no skill for hardware repair. So how do you this thing? And then you also have another person who is not knowledge and is not having that morality, but he has a skill. He will just go into his room and develop a software that can make us all here to cry. Because that's he can transfer money from my account to your own.
Has no character.
Within this thing. Because lack of character and lack of education. Because if you have that education, it will affect his critical thinking. He will do right thing. But he has skill. So it means we must have the three for us to be safe. And then lastly, to demonstrate Mr. President's affinity and love for skill. He said the student loan fund that was initially established is so defective because it doesn't address the issue of skill. And then in the amendment, Repeal and Amendment Act that we currently have, skill is the second component, apart from access. You can have access to education and higher learning, and also access to skill. So skill will now be a reason whereby if you have a computer MSc and you want to have the skill to know how to repair, how to develop software, or to repair hardware, you can access the loan to do that. So a lot of things is being done to ensure that the skill component is receiving the attention it desires. Look, let's take the developed world now in China. How many of them are graduate with degree?
Just skill.
Middle level man cadre.
That's all.
Was it not a shame Nigeria that when Dangote is going to construct his refinery, we have to import Indians and many to come for underground water welding? So you see, you have to, these are all wake-up call. And that's why Mr. President said he wants to renew the hope.
Put more emphasis on skills development. This question that just came in now is said that is there a need for compulsory language courses for Nigerian students interested in studying in countries that do not speak English?
Well, each country you go, they have their own mode of learning. You understand? Nigeria cannot impose any strict this thing. For example, if you go to, let me say, Bulgaria, Bulgarians are trained in their own language. So you have to undergo at least 1 year compulsory training for you to cope up. You understand? Any country you have, so country have their own policy. So we cannot impose. But we have also language policy in Nigeria. For example, it has shown that at early childhood, when you are studying, you must be taught your mother tongue or the tongue of those who are in that environment. And then as you grow up, English around 4 level, you are going to be taught in English. And then as you go, we now look at the language of our neighboring countries. And that's why we have French as a language in our policy. This is to promote a local, interstate, and regional integration. So that's all there. That's there. And that's why you see a lot of, because of that policy, a lot of people now are even more fluent in French than in English. They have PhDs, and some of them are international resource persons. So that's this thing. So, but it's not likely, it's not just possible for Nigeria to impose. But even in Nigeria, it's a policy, and then that policy, I mentioned the advantage of it, local and regional integration.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let me ask this. Would you think that the ministry is going in the right direction on this subject, or is there something else you think that the ministry needs to do to tighten the noose on those who go to mine these certificates and to discourage those who are intending to do it?
So far, according to the Honorable Minister's explanation and the position of the federal government, they have done the right thing. But however, to stop the reoccurrence, a lot of things has to be done. Number one, active collaboration between the Federal Ministry of Education in Nigeria and the Ministry of Higher Education in Benin Republic. And I'm happy that he said that within the West African region, they want to do something about it. That must happen almost.
As FED directives.
Yes, immediately. Because if I'm coming from Benin, I'm coming from Togo to Nigeria to come and work, even the employers should have a standard to verify instead of going to the university website through their QR code to verify a certificate, because you can actually fake a QR code that will direct somebody to somebody's university's website. But if there is a centralized database or verification database within the region, it will go a long way, both for policymakers and the policy users, the employers and so on and so forth. Then for the ministry, there is need for decentralization of oversight functions of regulatory bodies, because sometimes this can be cumbersome and it's affecting our system. Over the years, I've seen, universities indulging in activities they are not supposed to be indulging in because Abuja is far from their school. You can, for example, take the issue of accreditation of universities. For example, a university is given accreditation, it is going to be in the next 3 or 5 years before NUC goes back there. So there should be a decentralization of accreditation processes and assessment. So we have the State Ministry of Education, that some of these powers from NUC can be given to them, that they can walk into any university within their state. There, they will know whether a university has rented a laptop to come and do accreditation or not.
Yeah.
But before you say Jack Robinson, somebody will call from Abuja that we are coming, and they will make all the arrangements. They will ask lecturers, can I bring your books? Let us put it in our library. It is as worse as is, my honorable minister. So I need to recommend, even with your this skill acquisition, it should be decentralized. We have NBT, we have the State Ministry of Education. Much power should be given to them. Thank God for what the Mr. President has done on local government autonomy, to bring government closer to the people. So at policy making and policy designing, we should also empower those in the local authorities, to effect some of these policies without waiting for somebody in the state capital or federal capital to come over. So the skill acquisition, I also want to recommend to the ministry that, teaching students, youths in the local language beyond early childhood goes a long way. There are some children these days that you see them, they are playing with, you call it pangolo in Yoruba.
Yeah.
They play with rubbers,
and all that.
but they don't understand English. And that was why I found this initiation from the former President Goodluck Jonathan, special school for the Alimanjeris. Maybe that would have gone a long way. I told somebody, I said, there's nothing wrong if we can get some of these schools in the north and even universities in the north that will teach in Arabic. Solely Arabic. Because the problem, they don't want to learn English. So why must we force English
on them?
On them. And forcing English on citizens and telling Nigerians that you must have CCs at all costs. You must have credit, you know, before you can even gain admission to Nigerian university. You know, at least the worst you can get is pass in English, because we are placing more emphasis on spoken English. Because speaking English is not a measurement for intelligence.
They can even learn in their local
language. So most essentially where we have the highest rates of out of school children from the north, you know, we can introduce Arabic form of education from primary to higher education. It's just a translation. English is just...
Okay, Dr. Adeni, because of our time, because we are gradually winding up now, because of our time, I mean, that emphasis is important, that we don't have to actually enforce English as the language of, that must be used in teaching pupils in schools. We can even use our mother tongue, because it has been, the test has been carried out at Ife.
Yes.
You know, and they found out that those who were taught in their mother tongue, they did better than those who were taught in English. Now, my last question for you before we have the parting shot from the minister is this. He said the education system now is being built on a tripod, that is on knowledge, character, and skills. But we found out that one particular one is really, really lacking, which is character. How do we begin to build that into our system now?
Okay, start from home. Just like we have discussed earlier, must start from home. Because a child that you, from WAEC center, try to buy his or her way for her, definitely when it gets to the government, he won't have character. So it starts from home. You see parents taking their children to WAEC center, Miracle Center for, thank God for what Professor Olede is doing, Miracle Center for JAM. What do you expect from such children? So by the time he gets to university, he will do the same. If he becomes a lecturer, he will eventually, get sex for mark at the end of the day, because the parent has done what? Introduced such kind of belief that is what Nigeria. So, and I want to be... Okay.
So parents should take the lead.
Take the lead
in building or grooming.
Yes, a number of blame game on the government.
Because family is the smallest nucleus of society.
Yes.
All right, Honorable Minister, as your parting shot, how far is the Ministry of Health, Education willing to go beyond these reforms to deter people from mining certificates? Given that, of course, we agree that it's a mess created across MDAs, but it's a mess for the Ministry of Education, and so it is yours to clear. How far are you willing to go?
Well, we are going far because already, after we have reviewed everything, take a strong overhaul of the department. We have also given our MDAs under us, the NUC and NBT and NCCE, to take stock within. Because even within the country they are. So very soon you will hear there are a lot of semi-called, so somehow called institutions. They are not really institutions of learning, will be shut down. And then those found responsible will also be prosecuted.
And those working already with certificates?
Yeah.
Those working already?
And those will also follow similar outcome. FEC cannot be partial to say because you are from Togo and Benin, you obtain it and you should be sanctioned, and then those who are found locally would be spared. No, it has to be a this thing. So definitely, we must also still thank the undercover journalist for what he has done, because that is the you see, at any time in life there is a turning moment. For us in education, in terms of quality and what have you, this is a turning moment for us. And we cannot allow this opportunity to slip, more or less, especially when you have a president who has given go-ahead and is 100% behind it. Without the support of the FEC and everything, all this we are saying wouldn't have seen the light of day. So we are going to use it. We are also using this as a leverage on these activities, opportunity we have to clear the system.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Honorable Minister of State Education, Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, for coming to Good Morning Nigeria this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we want to thank Dr. Adeni John, Founder, President, Global Scholarship Trust, and Deputy National Coordinator. Thanks for your contribution this morning.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's how far we can go on Good Morning Nigeria this morning. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
All right, I'm Victor Azu. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.